key frame component is brevity. Ask people to keep their contributions punchy. Now, I know there are people that think in their mouths. They are not necessarily aware of this, but the way that they will contribute or participate in a meeting is that they think aloud rather than thinking before. And it usually looks something like this, like, if I could just make a point here. Now, what am I trying to say here? Based on what Philippa just said there, what I'm thinking, and look, it's just come into my head now, is that I think the way, now just notice what I've just done. In 30 seconds, I have not added any value. What I've done is made noise around my own process. In other words, I heard something, and now I want to reflect on it, and I now want to say something, but before I say it, I have to think about it, and before I think about it, I have to speak it out aloud. That's time we're not going to get back. So asking people to really consider prior to contribution what their thinking is. Now, two things happen here. One, it forces people to participate with more consciousness. In other words, they need to think through before they contribute. But secondly, it also demonstrates that you are taking the meeting to a higher standard, that you're not going to just simply tolerate noise. You're not going to tolerate low grade or low value participation. Now, initially, if people aren't used to this, they can feel kind of uncomfortable because it is a skill. It's definitely a competency to be able to hear something, make sense and meaning out of it, turn that into a contribution that's got some value. And not everyone is ably skilled at that just yet. However, in the process of the meeting, you can set the conditions for that to start to become normalized in the way that you conduct meetings. And I can tell you, and I take this from my direct experience with Paul, our psychological, mental, emotional preparation prior to the meeting meant that by the time we arrived, we were really up for it, right? We weren't just going to get there and warm up. We were already primed to participate really early. So this notion of brevity, set the standards around contribution. Now, here's a key aspect to this in regards to ensuring that this can be governed well. You need to have the courage, and it does take some courage initially, to intervene when you notice that behavior isn't being applied